In today's video, I'll coach a gold 1 chamber on fracture. Okay, so real quick, I'm just gonna go back to the setup. Obviously, we weren't ready for the pre-round setup, but I will explain the TPs. So, you want to have your TP really close so you can go as far as you can in A main. You can kind of get away with going into the corner here. Like if you look, I guess this is okay too. The reason why I don't tuck it here is just because if they sand split really quick, I don't want to get caught. But you know, the TP is fine here. The second TP, you want to tuck it into one of the corners. So you want to go this corner or this corner, or I think this corner works too. But if you do it on the left, you can dodge breach stun. Like if you do it on the left here, I think, or closer to the barrier here, and then you run straight across and jump at the end, you can actually dodge the breach stun, which they don't have a breach, so whatever. And then if you use it on the right here, then you can actually get to front door by the wood box here, and then you can TP. So if you tuck it all the way up, you can push up for a more aggressive angle, which is, I typically do the one on the right for that reason. Just figured I'd explain that. And then real quick for the alarm bot, you either want to put it here or here on the floor, so it gives them less time. Because if you tuck it into this corner, this guy can walk up and then crouch, and then he can basically get like almost like right here. So he can like, it catches you a lot more off guard if you tuck it in. So you might as well just do it a little bit more out, like here or here. When I was watching Tarek, he likes doing this one, but typically I throw this one. So in terms of mechanics here, you know, your jiggles are pretty good. Right here, I'd rather you just commit to this fight though, because you're down numbers again. So if you just commit to this fight and try to get the kill really quickly, you have a higher chance of winning. But also your Raze technically should be fighting with you. He's not, but ideally you guys are double picking this guy, and if you're jiggling, you'd be essentially baiting him, but he's baiting you. Whatever, you know, it just takes a little bit too long to take this fight, I think. And then at this point, you like go for a lot of spam pre-fires. Not really a big fan. And you also constantly reload. That's like your third reload in like 10 seconds.
Yeah. That's a probably.
But yeah, very spammy here. And in terms of aim, right? I don't think your aim's that bad. It looks kind of floaty. I'll show you what I mean by that. It's like right here. Very floaty to the right. Very floaty right here, floaty right here, pretty floaty right here. I guess the floaty is not a good word, but what I kind of mean by that is like you don't have much intention behind how you move your crosshair. It kind of just vibes and does its own thing. There's a couple things that we can do to change this. Obviously, having a little bit more focus would be, you know, like what angles you want to pre-aim is huge, and that just comes with experience over time for sure, knowing what sides they're going to peek from and see what angles you want to peek, etc, etc. But in terms of like training for that, or I guess training your aim to not look so floaty, I really don't have a better word for it, but I think in this case you might benefit from lowering your sense a little bit, and I'll explain. So it's really easy for you to react to something that's happening on your screen the higher sensitivity you are. So you don't really feel that much in danger because you're like, oh, if this guy is somewhere, like if I go back, for example, if your crosshair is like here, like you have it, readjusting to here is pretty easy on your high sense, right? So you're not going to really care to have like essentially perfect crosshair placement, right? Like you shoot here and then you flick here, right? Instead of flicking here, because you're able to go back here really easily. And then here, when you turn around, you have it here instead of here or here, because like I said, you can move it really quickly to these spots because your sensitivity is on the higher scale, right? And on a more experienced player, on like someone that's just better skill or better aim, you know, they're able to use this high sense really well because they'll be able to flick here, 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 like really quickly, and that's the benefit of high sense. But typically what I tend to see on lower rank players that are still learning the game or still learning how to aim, things like that, higher sense is like a detriment because they handicap themselves into thinking that they can just react to anything that happens on their screen, and as a consequence their crosshair placement suffers a lot. You'll see your 80-80 makes you miss right here, right?
Yeah.
You're directly on him, and then it whiffs just because you're moving a little bit too much.
Oh, come on, bro. Don't run. Help.
Same thing there, almost got you killed because you retucked. And then right here, you actually take in 2 steps before you, like, you'd AD one more time before getting the shot off instead of just peeking and killing him, right? So I'll go back.
Come on, bro. Don't run. Help.
AD right there. AD right there, right? AD right there, right? You did it 3 times where you could have shot on the first strafe instead of the second. And I think that's a bad habit, specifically in this instance. It really highlights it, so that's something we can try to work on, or at least try to be a little bit more conscious of it. Hey, I hope you're enjoying the video so far. Consider subbing to the channel, it helps a lot. Thanks so much. I feel that. You've done this like 3 times, by the way. When you jiggle angles, you do it like looking into the wall. Instead of having your crosshair here, you have it here. I don't know the meaning of that, but like if this guy's here, you just dead, no?
Yeah.
I think you've done this specific one on B main like 3 times, and you did it like arcade 1 time as well, I think. So that's a little bit strange. I think we should try to change that. If this guy shallow peeks right here, it's pretty hard for him to get a perfect pre-aim on you to where he insta headshots you, because he only appears for such a short time, he only sees you for such a short time, right? So if he goes a little bit wider, typically like most people do, and he's here, then he sees you for a little bit longer, so he can like get a nicer shot, right? He has more time to line it up. Whereas if you have it here and then you go here, you're gonna insta die because he had more time to, I guess, aim. Whereas if you're pre-aimed here and then you go back here, you both don't have that much time to get the shot off, so you're both most likely gonna miss, if that makes sense. Obviously, if he has an op and you hold close, then it's probably better, because if he has an op, you know, he's gonna peek close anyways, and he doesn't have to hit a nice shot, he just has to hit a body. But you know, it's pissed around. It's good that you do these short peeks though. This is like good to see, but you can kind of see that your movement and your crosshair aren't really aligned. It's right here, I think. Right, your movement and your crosshair right there aren't synced together.
Yeah.
And I think that's a little bit to do with maybe you're taking your peaks a little too early, but also a little bit to do with the sense.
Down A.
You did the same thing. You did the same thing on pistol round, but the jiggles here are good. So I'll explain it like this. Jiggles here good. This is good. This is good. Okay, after 3, you wide swing. You go really wide here because he was caught in the open, right? So you jiggled this guy, boom. He's still in cover. He took the extra step wide, and then you can jiggle 1 more time to confirm. Now he has no cover. So if you go wide right here, you just get the kill for free. When you do drop here, right, we know the op is left side, and then as soon as the omen blinds you, you know where the second guy is, right? So you might as well take the swing here and then get the angle on the guy's spawn, because he's still pulling out his gun. He just flashed. It's really favorable for you to take the angle at that point. And he is untradeable because the jet's on the left. But if you die, your Reyna could re-swing and try to kill him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's better for you to take the angle here. And we do take the angle, but we don't wide swing it. Yeah, we definitely don't wide swing enough. When you come back and grab bomb, right? At this point, they know where you are and you're down 5v3 or 3v5, so you should instantly be looking for a play, right? Just throw down your TPs here, TP here, and then just swing and look for a kill, right? Your job here is to even up numbers and then try to get on site, right? That's like really what your main thing is right here. We're taking it too slow here, we end up getting smoked off, and then at this point your Raze is literally doing everything for you. He's, you know, he pops ult, he kills the guy spawn, he kills the guy tower, right? Like he's doing everything, and then the smoke finally fades, and then we have a chance, right? Right, and then after we plant here, when he stops shooting and he potentially reloads, you should look for the space. Or when your Raze goes up and gets contact, you need to reposition.
Wait.
See, he reloads right there, you push up. Or you get out of the smoke.
Oh.
Your Raze dies, you definitely move. Like that's another sound cue.
Put him.
And like going close right here is okay. I think it's fine. You dodge flash if he does throw one wide. It's just he just body shots you. It's unlucky-ish. NT. The main thing is just to reposition earlier, and then also to throw down your TPs and take the fight when you're going through B main. In terms of how to play chamber, I think you need to, I guess, get a little bit more confidence, take more wide swings, take more fights in general. Does that make sense? Do you have any questions?